Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and this is the news. Belarusian athlete Krystina Tsimanouskaya has arrived in Warsaw. According to Polish authorities, the Belarusian athlete is in a safe place where she is awaiting the arrival of her husband. Having fled her home country, Tsimanouskaya plans to resume her sporting career. The plane with Krystina Tsimanouskaya on board landed yesterday evening at Fryderyk Chopin Airport in Warsaw. For safety reasons, the details of the flight were kept secret until the last moment. In the first interview after her arrival in Warsaw, the Belarusian athlete admitted that she had not planned to leave her country before the Games. Of course not. I absolutely love my country. It is my homeland. I was born there. I have never felt like leaving it. Everything that has happened recently is a shock to me. I never thought the situation could end this way. The Belarusian runner also revealed the background of the events in Tokyo. Tsimanouskaya was urged to report her injury by Belarusian services and to return to the country via Istanbul. However, the athlete did not comply with these recommendations and asked the police for help. My parents concluded that if I returned to Belarus, I would end up in a psychiatric ward or in prison. They advised me against returning to the country. I am very grateful to Poland, to the Polish diplomats and to the Polish Prime Minister. I am grateful for their efforts to ensure my safe journey to Warsaw and for all the help they have given me. The Polish authorities have also provided diplomatic assistance to Krystina Tsimanouskaya's husband. He is expected to arrive in Poland later today. Krystina Tsimanouskaya also addressed her compatriots who are the victims of repression by Alexander Lukashenko's regime. The Belarusian runner emphasized that she is ready to help them. At the end of the conference, symbolic words were spoken. We fight for freedom. Belarus will be free. Tsimanouskaya's asylum in Poland is considered a slap in the face for Alexander Lukashenko, who clings to power despite the rigged election last year. Polish authorities did not hesitate to provide help for the Belarusian athlete. Belarusian sportswoman Krystina Tsimanouskaya has already landed safely in Warsaw. We made instant decisions and took quick actions. We were effective. I thank the diplomatic and consular services involved for the smooth conduct of this operation. Poland is once again showing its solidarity and support for the victims of persecution in Belarus. The sportswoman is under the protection of the Polish government and in touch with Belarusian pro-democracy organizations. Mrs. Krystina Tsimanouskaya is resting at the moment. She is in a safe place. After the hardships of not only the journey, but also the stressful few days, she has every right to rest and is probably waiting for her husband, who we hope will join her soon. She will then decide what to do next. Mark Brzezinski, the son of Zbigniew Brzezinski, National Security Advisor to President Jimmy Carter, has been nominated as the next United States ambassador to Poland. One of Brzezinski's grandfathers, Tadeusz, was a Polish diplomat and consular official, and another, Edward Beneš, served as the president of the Czechoslovak Republic. Brzezinski's nomination must now be approved by the Senate. Meanwhile, Republican senators have announced a blockade until the Biden administration stops construction of the Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline. 300 years ago, Poland was ravaged by the Second Great Plague epidemic. Warsaw is said to have lost up to 30% of its population. Among the victims were soldiers participating in the Northern War. In 1711, as an expiation for their sins, the city's inhabitants organised a walking pilgrimage to Częstochowa. For 311 years, Catholics have been making the 200-kilometre journey. Today, students, participants of an academic pilgrimage, set out on the road. Off they go. Over 500 people walk the first steps of a long journey. Cardinal Kazimierz Nitsch, Metropolitan of Warsaw, said that this year the pilgrims are spiritually led by the late primate Stefan Wyszyński. He appealed to the pilgrims to treat this time as a spiritual preparation for the beatification of the primate, which will take place in Warsaw on the 12th of September. It's hard. Legs hurt, hips hurt, but we're going. My younger brother made up this poem, so Mummy's legs don't break and Daddy's back doesn't hurt. My parents are ill and I decided to go for the intention of their health. This is just a warm-up for now. The first stage was long, but we are going. The sanitary rules are being observed with a limited number of places available for the unvaccinated. All participants will also have their temperature measured daily. You can see that there are half as many of us as there were in 2019. The other thing is fear. We don't know what will happen next with the pandemic. The pilgrimage has a different theme for each day. The first day began with the motto, "Understand God by reflecting on yourself." And the general motto of this year's Warsaw Metropolitan Academic Pilgrimage is, "May you rekindle the carousel."
jest radość.
There is joy, energy. We pray a lot and we feel the closeness of God.
Bliskość Pana Boga.
Do Matki Boskiej.
We make a pilgrimage to the Virgin Mary.
No i mamy piękne
A beautiful opportunity to exercise and spend time with worthy people.
również i do spędzenia czasu właśnie z wartościowymi ludźmi.
Ja jestem osobą wierzącą.
I am a believer, so I like it very much. If you are not a believer, you will find here an opportunity to make new friends, and there are many young people.
Młodych ludzi.
The pilgrims will cover almost 300 kilometers in 10 days. They will reach Jasna Gora Monastery on the morning of the 14th of August, where at 1 p.m. there will be a holy mass, finishing this year's pilgrimage. Many pilgrims will stay in Częstochowa until the 15th of August, when the church celebrates the Feast of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Over 70,000 unarmed civilians, women, elderly and children died in the Wola massacre, a systematic killing of between 70,000 and 90,000 committed by German Wehrmacht and fellow Axis collaborators. Warsaw's Wola district is now in the city centre of the Polish capital. Germans burned the dead and ashes alone weighed over 12 metric tons. No German official nor soldier complicit in this crime faced justice. Today, Warsaw remembers victims of this murderous action. From the 5th to the 12th of August 1944, tens of thousands of Polish civilians, along with the captured Home Armoured Resistance fighters, were brutally and systematically murdered by the Germans in organised mass executions throughout Wola. Whole families, including babies, children and the elderly, were often shot on the spot, but some were killed after torture and sexual assault. German soldiers murdered patients in hospitals, killing them in their beds, as well as the doctors and nurses caring for them. Jadwiga Łukasik was 8 years old at the time and survived thanks to the house caretaker. For 17 years she tried to learn his name. Saturday was meant to be the end for us. The Germans burst into our house and ordered the caretaker to drive the inhabitants out into the yard. He lied that there was no one left because everyone had been driven out already on August the 2nd. Then the Germans took the caretaker's family and shot them all at the gate.
A dozorca mówi, że nikogo już nie ma, bo 2 sierpnia zostali wszyscy wypędzeni.
Dead bodies were piled up and to be burned by the Verbrennungskommando to destroy the evidence of the massacre. The operation was led by Erich von den Bach-Zalewski, though its main perpetrators were the Derlywanga Brigade and the Russian Kaminsky Brigade, whose forces committed the cruelest atrocities. This is the greatest crime of the Second World War committed against the civilian population. None of the Germans suffered any consequences in any way. Not only that, General Reinhardt, who ordered the murder of everyone, was a mayor in democratic post-war Germany for many years.
Rozpoczynano na początku sierpnia.
On the 5th of August alone, we estimate that the Germans murdered some 20,000 innocent people. Women, children, old people, all had to die.
Pacyfikację Starego Miasta, ludności cywilnej przede wszystkim.
That's the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business and more programs. But from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.